Namaskaram. Welcome to Amritkal Mentors, a movement we initiated to bring the world's expertise, especially of Indians within India and outside India, to all the Indian youth. Like throughout the day, we've been talking about the demographic dividend that India has. Now, it's a dividend only when you make good use of it, making sure that every aspiring Indian youth is properly skilled, aligned with our Indian dharma values, are good leaders, and that's when it becomes a dividend. Otherwise, it can become a liability. So we started the day with remembering Swami Vivekananda, which is the day we chose. We chose a day because Swami Vivekananda has said something again, which we talked about this morning. All power is within you. One of the very first persons to say it, even though it is said in all the Vedas and Upanishads, but he was the one who said it, that all power is within you. We can achieve whatever we want we achieve if only if we put our heart and soul to it. And then we heard from Sadhguru about being the seeker. The day you stop seeking, you become old, he said. So youthfulness means you are seeking opportunities, seeking the truth, and seeking why you are here on this planet. So Amritkal Mentors movement will continue. We'll have many more mentoring sessions like this in a group setting, and we chose the speakers who really have demonstrated a very high level of care. They all came back enthusiastically and said, "We want to share whatever we know, from our own experiences." So I'm really glad we started the day with "All power is within you," and now we have Geetha ji talking about how to unleash that power, unleash your Shakti. Because if all of us, from India and all the young people in India, by number 600 million young people, if all of us find a way to unleash our Shakti, then India is empowered. Right? Then India becomes, so-called Vishwa Guru that we talk about. It's not about economic might. It's about being a good nation that is good for the world. Right? That's what India has the promise, because we are a different country. We have a different way of thinking and so on. So very honored to have Geetha. Um, I will try to read her long bio, but she has such an accomplished career. Geetha Kannan, founder and CEO of Wequity, is the visionary leader and a pioneer of women in IT movement in India. With over 30 years of experience globally across business, technology, and people management, Geetha is committed to driving equity for women in technology. At Wequity, she provides integrated resources to advance gender equality in tech, fostering growth and support for women and their allies. Her career spans transformative leadership roles at Infosys, ANZ, and AnitaB.org, India, where she scaled initiatives for women in tech from a small community to a nationwide movement. I think love to learn from you how to create movements. Geetha's advocacy dates back to 2006, influencing every women-centric policies and spearheading India's first Women in Tech conference. She then helped move these initiatives to NASSCOM for broader reach. She has many awards to her name, with recent honors including the Glory of India Award, which is just new, 2024-25 Glory of India Award, and She Sparks of Tech Award 2024, reflecting her impactful contributions to the tech industry and gender equity. So very honored and delighted, Geetha, to have you as our closing keynote speaker. And over to you. Looking forward to hearing your words of wisdom.
Thank you so much, Ravi, and thank you, Harish, for having me here. I think I should be honored to be here. Thank you to all the participants. It's been a long day, data overload to say the least. Information has been flowing in from all corners, advice in all directions, I'm sure. I know you don't have your videos on, so I want you to take just a minute and close your eyes. Don't fall asleep. I know it's the end of the day. Close your eyes and just think of where you'll be on the same day in 2026. Everybody will say 5 years ahead or 100 years of India's independence. I don't want you to go so far. Just next year, Just imagine what you will be. And to send your thoughts in the right direction, think of success. You have successfully, if this is the year that you're going to look for a job, you've successfully got your job in the company of your choice and at the salary that you want. If you're looking to start your business, you've successfully started your business and got your first customers, and they have lauded you for the great business that you started. Or you've successfully applied for higher education, been accepted to the university that you want in the specialization that you desire. So it's all about where you'll be in 2026. So hold that thought. Don't let it go away. Feel those emotions of success with you. And now slowly open your eyes. Now you felt that success. So I'm going to make you hold that success for a minute while I tell you a little about what we're going to do in the next 45 minutes. We're going to unlock. I know you started this whole day with saying, Swami Vivekananda saying that power is within you. And that's what we all believe in, that you have to unlock that power within you to move ahead. I'm Geetha Kannan, the founder and CEO of Wequity. As Ravi said, I have 30 years of experience. A lot of my groundwork and the things that I believe in came from growing with Infosys as it grew. I joined them in 1993. So I grew with that company, and with that grew my mind, grew my thoughts, and it also helped unleash my own Shakti. And as the founder and CEO of Wequity, what we do is we believe that everybody has to have an equal say at the table, that it's all about inclusion, and it's all about forging ahead and not leaving anybody behind. And that's where you see this is what we used in our conference last year, where we've got this picture of this young lady really forging ahead. So that is what Wequity is all about. Now, if you look at, you remember what we said, right? Where we were saying that you are going to unleash that Shakti. But where are you now? You have got that goal state, right? That's what you sat, closed your eyes, and got that goal state. All of y'all remember that goal state? It's all about success. Success in your business, success in your higher studies, or success in getting a job. So this is your goal state. But where are you now? You're actually in the current state. And where is this current state? Is where you are here and now listening to me on the Zoom conversation. And you can see these arrows that are moving. So you have to actually envisage it in such a way that you're in a river, right? You're on one side of the river, and the goal state is on the other side of the river. The current state is on this side of the river. You have to pick those stones that you have to pick to reach to the other side. Can you imagine that? So you have to find which are the stones that are firm, which are the ones that will fit your foot in particular, right? Which are the ones, even if you don't mind getting your feet a little wet, it's okay for you to go in, right? You have to decide which are those stones that will take you there. And this in-between hazy gray area, I'm going to talk a little about it, because you can't unleash your Shakti unless you know what that hazy area is, right? And so if you look at it, and I'm going to talk to you a little, giving it all in the context of as if you're going to look for a job. But believe me, you can apply this even if you're going for higher studies, or even if you're going to look to start a business of your own. But the context that I'll be giving it to you is from the context of, okay, you're going to find your goal state is a successful job in 2026 at a salary you like, in the way that you want, whether you want remote working or you want to go every day to office, whichever that, and in a dream company of your choice. Now, if you look at what is this gray area, there are three things that I've through my experience, thought is there are skills beyond academics, right? When Ravi was talking, he was talking about history when he first started, right? So whichever one you're looking at, what is it that you have studied? They will definitely ask you this in the interview. What have you studied? Whatever branch of engineering or non-engineering that you've taken, they will ask you that. But look at this picture. This picture is that of the Indian cricket team being welcomed after winning the World Cup. Can you just point out to me somebody's face that you can recognize? I'm sure your neighbor must be there. But can you point them out? Do you know who they are in this mass crowd? And this is exactly how recruiters will struggle. AI will help them in a way to pick up keywords, to pick up those candidates. But if I see all of them like this, in a mass of humanity like this, who will I choose? And that is why you need skill beyond academics. So what's this first skill that will set you apart? And you know all this if you've ever attended an interview, right? And especially for your internships, you might have got this. The first thing, and Infosys is also a culprit to this, is the first thing that we test is, can you solve a problem? Because as a leader, I don't want somebody who will bring me the problem. I've had enough people coming and saying, this is my problem, this is my problem. If I'm going to get bogged down by somebody else's problem, then how will I run my own business? I want people who are problem solvers, who'll highlight the issues and bring some ideas or solutions to the table. That's the first thing that will set you apart. And today's day and age, we know we're all consumers of Reels. We're all Insta subscribers. And some of you all who are not in India have access to TikTok. 30 seconds, 10 seconds. That's all the attention span that humanity has today. And in 7 seconds is when, there is a saying that within 7 seconds, you actually make 11 decisions about a person you meet within the first 7 seconds. Like within the first 7 seconds of me coming on screen, you would have said, oh, A, B, C, D, E. You made 11 of them. So with that short attention span that everybody has, it's irrespective of generation at this point, is you need to be able not only to communicate your message across, but you should be articulate. And that's one thing I see when I'm talking to a lot of the younger generation is the articulation of thoughts clearly, whether in your meetings or in your emails. It has to be that you should be precise, concise, and communicate what you want to communicate to the other person in a way that they can understand it. Very often I see that when somebody writes me an email, they write what they want to write. They have to complete the entire thing and they send it across to you. Whether that's relevant to me or not, it's irrespective. I got an email recently where somebody said, you are responsible for ''S's branding and communication journey, so sign up with us as an organization. I said, what is this ''S"? Because you've forgotten to write Wequity there. Do you think I'll go ahead with this company for branding and communication? No. And the third thing that I would look for is collaboration. Now, what is collaboration? Right? We all are working remote at this point. So we want individuals who will work effectively in teams. And there's one step beyond that. You must be able to respect diversity of the team in all respects, whether it's physical respects, whether it's neurodiversity, anything. You should respect that diversity and in that process contribute meaningfully. So these are the 3 skills that you need to know beyond academics so you can stand out in that crowd. You should be problem solvers, you should be strong articulators and collaborators. What's the second thing you need to know? What is that edge? I call these the edge attributes. What is it that gives you an edge over anybody else? I wish it was a little bit more interactive. It would have been easier to ask that question, but you can put it on the chat if you have any questions. But one edge that we've seen it from the time I've been in my career, but I think it's more and more evident today for two reasons. One is COVID showed us that we have to pivot very fast. Organizations that used to work 5 days, 6 days a week in office suddenly could work from home, remote. We've started using video conferencing. We've got these great mentoring tools that we're doing online. It's become a thing where you have to adapt towards it. And the second reason why adaptability has become so rampant in today's thing is you've seen that when I started Wequity in 4 to 5 years ago, I never thought of AI, right? But today I have to think of AI. I have to think of AI when I'm making presentations like this, right? I have to think of AI when I'm going to develop something new for my community. I have to think of the latest thing that is happening. So adaptability has become key for these two reasons. And the second thing that's very important is your self-confidence. And this edge is very, very evident in everything you do. Don't think it only happens when you are face to face with the employer or a VC capitalist who wants to invest in you. This is evident in everything you do. So if you have the self-confidence and the belief in yourself, it'll come out in manifest ways, in the way you communicate in your emails, the way you follow up with people. It also will come out when you meet them via video or in person, the way you talk, your body language, the way you look with eye contact, everything, or the way you dress, everything will show self-confidence. Means if you believe in yourself, you know what happens? Slowly, I'll also start believing in you. If you don't believe in yourself, do you think I'll believe in you? Do you think I'll invest my money in you, either in terms of a job or giving you the first round of VC funding? No. Because if you don't believe in yourself, I don't believe in you either. And what's a third one? Sorry. It's resilience. Now, this is a much bandied word. In fact, a friend of mine, he actually wrote an entire book about resilience. But it's literally like those dolls that you used to get when you were a kid, that you punch them, or even your punching bags in the gym, where it comes back to you. That's what you are. When some life punches you in the face, you still have to get up again. And that resilience is very important and an edge for me if I'm going to hire somebody, because that means whatever happens, you can handle all that ambiguity and everything and come back again like those dolls or like the punching bag at the gym. Now, what's a third one? So we looked at beyond academics and the edge attributes. Now, this is one that, people always ask me, why would you at an entry level look at leadership qualities? And you see, when you're dreaming about your job or your, business in 2026, imagine me. I'm also dreaming about my company and where it'll be in 2026. So where will you fit into my dream there? So where will you fit into the future of my organization? I don't hire only for the here and now, right? When we practice mindfulness and all, you say we are in the moment. But in business, we can't be in the moment when we're hiring. We hire for the future also. So we look at potential. So I want somebody only who, is great in academics and has a few edge attributes, but I want people who have some leadership attributes also. And leadership attributes means I'm not going to make you the head of a team, but it means that you'll have accountability. What is given to you, you'll be committed to do. I had this great, when I was in ANZ, I think I always say that she was probably my employee of my lifetime, Sarah, who used to be eager to take things up. And I would know exactly where she is on what she's doing, because she'd ensure that she gives me a report at the end of the day. And I know that once I give it to her, it'll be taken care of. I know that trust is formed over time, but she showed me accountability from day one. So I felt very comfortable in giving her things. And today, even after like almost 10, 15 years, I still recall her as one of my best employees. The next one who takes initiative. In Infosys, we used to have something called an internal job posting, where people could move internally. Some of the best people never got those opportunities to move and forge ahead. Some got. So on thinking back on why some of them got and why some of them did not get, I was thinking that, hey, they got it only because they showed initiative in doing something beyond what their actual job description showed. We have someone who's actually used to be the CFO of Infosys and now he's joined Catamaran. He used to be in initiatives all the time. Initiatives where he probably would, it's not at all necessary for him, but it gave him an exposure. It helped him build his brand. And then when a new opportunity comes, your first person you'll think of is the person who took that initiative. And of course, we talk a lot about this in the workspace now. You should have emotional intelligence. You should have the ability to show empathy. You should have the ability to be in someone else's shoes and understand their diverse thinking. You should be inclusive. So these are the three things that point you to the small stones you need in terms of the gray area. But as they say, there is a dragon hidden in each one of us. And this is the dragon which we call as the Shakti. And that Shakti has to come out and unleash itself. And so how do we actually go about unleashing that dragon from within us? Those are all the things. You have your final state where you want to go across the river. That's your goal. Here you are. We've got all those small stones that you need that I've listed out for you. They're your edge attributes, skills beyond your academics, and those potential leadership qualities that you should showcase at every opportunity. Those are all the things that you do, and you start working on those. But now you have to unleash that dragon. And you know what? You have to unleash that dragon today. And this is like Swami Vivekananda's birthday. So, birth anniversary also. So it's absolutely the best day to do it. Can you think of another day that is better than this? No. So how do you unleash this dragon? Now, if you can see this picture right here. Unfortunately, probably Ravi, I don't know if he's familiar with this picture, but if you look at this picture,
Looks
are
like
you
half
familiar
dome.
with this?
Is it
Yeah, it's
half
half.
dome? Yeah.
Yes, it is. So for those of you who don't know it, this is in a park in California called the Yosemite Park. And this is called Half Dome, and many hikers and climbers, their dream is to climb this half dome. It's probably the second biggest dream for most people who want to climb rocks in the US. And you don't get access to this easily. There are only some, during the season only you can go up, hike this place. And you can hike it only, you get a pass. So you get I think they give out 300 to 400 passes. And if you are lucky to get that pass, you can start hiking. And this last bit what I'm showing you is the last bit of the hike. There is, a lot to hike before you reach that. So it is a good 8-hour hike. But this is the last bit. And for reasons unknown, I really don't know still why, but they have the last, if you can see, there is a small line that is going up the thing, up the cliff face. That line is two railings on which you have to hold it and you have to move forward up. If it is raining, strict advice is not to climb because of two reasons. It's very slippery. The railing, it's only wooden slats, and you have to climb from slat to go up. And the way to hold it is by these two rails. Very similar to sometimes of the pilgrimages that we do also in India. But you climb up that way, and why they say not during rains is, one is you'll slip. The second reason is lightning can strike, and for some reason these rods that you pull yourself up with are iron, and so you can be struck by lightning. So extremely dangerous. Now, I have a daughter who lives there in California, and so she and her friends got the pass. But even before applying for the pass, they did a few things. And I think that's why I'm telling you this story, is to unleash your Shakti. You can't say, it's not like a COVID vaccine. Every 30 days or whatever, 6 months, you go get it, you're done. Doesn't work that way. It is a lot of preparation. And not only preparation, it is for you to stay on that path of unleashing your Shakti. It's not like saying that, my Shakti is unleashed now, and now nobody can stand in my path. So what are the things specifically you have to do? There's enough said that every day you have to learn something new. And I think that's one of the first things that you should do. Every day you have to learn something new. Learn a new word. If you're up to it, learn a new skill. If you're up to it, learn a new language. Learn something. Every day you have to learn something new. And then I know we have the tendency of, this, I always think that this probably is one of the fingers that is going to be the most leanest in the history of our generations, or at least in this century, because we are scrolling all the time. So when we're scrolling, we get down into Alice in Wonderland's, rabbit hole, and we forget how time flies away. And if you look at it after 1 or 2 hours, you say, oh, and what have you learned? Well, some of us have learned something from all those scrollings, right? But majority of us, it's always the Pareto principle, 80-20. Even if you're devoting 100% of your time to the scrolling, you'll learn only 20%, and 80% is worthless. So just be mindful of the rabbit hole you could be sucked into, and make sure that when you are doing the scrolling also, you are engaged in continuous learning. Because learning will take you on to, this path of unleashing your Shakti. The minute you sit back and don't learn, you will become a dinosaur and not a dragon. Then the second thing, what you have to do, and I think you should do this immediately. I run workshops on this, on how you can build your personal brand. And I'm telling you, it's so important, because in today's world, for you to differentiate yourself from that crowd that is there and to stand apart, as a recruiter, I will look for what you are posting on social media. What are your thoughts? And how are you portraying yourself? Because from there, I can also find out your self-confidence. What are the words you are using? How well you're using those words? Which are the things that you're commenting on? Which are the ones that you're liking? All that will give me a digital map of who you are. It's kind of scary, really. So build your personal brand in such a way that it showcases who you are in a very true, authentic manner. And you must keep your goal state in mind, because your personal brand and your goal state can't differ widely. If my goal state is to get a software developer job at Microsoft, my personal brand can't show that, I'm very good at designing clothing. I know I'm giving you bizarre examples of two extremes, but it's just to tell you that one should reflect the other. It has to be a mirror image. What is your goal? Which is your goal state? And your personal brand should reflect that goal state. Why I didn't tell you in continuous learning that you should learn only in your sphere of your study or where you want to go is because all learning will never go to waste. And learning can be something like you can sign up for a yoga class. It will have nothing to do for you being a software developer, but will definitely help you in improving your physical and mental health. But your brand has to reflect what your goal state should be. So be very careful and aware of your digital map and start building your personal brand to reflect who you are as a unique person, as well as looking at what is your end goal. So does your personal brand reflect your end goal? Will you as a recruiter hire this person? Always ask yourself that question. Unfortunately, your dragon and your Shakti is in you. It is not within me. So if it is for me to unleash the Shakti, I can't unleash your Shakti. You have to unleash your Shakti. So take ownership of your growth. Don't wait for opportunities. Opportunities may come, opportunities may go. They say no, if there is a door, if you don't go through that door of opportunity, it will close on you. So you create those opportunities, volunteer, participate in competitions, try various forums and community building places where you can go and network with people. Always look at how you can enhance your skills and look for opportunities. You don't really know how opportunities will come. And my fourth point, unless you want to, I don't know, even if you go to the forest and live alone, you don't need, humans have to interact with other humans. And I think the greatest, the mental health professionals tell us that the greatest problem that is going to come with all this remote working and with people getting so self-absorbed in social media, the greatest pandemic would be loneliness. And that's the next one that's going to come. And we are seeing it in great counts because we have a lot of people reaching out to us for counseling sessions for that. So it does look like humans need that human interaction because we are social animals in all respects. If you've ever read the book called The Human, right? The Sapiens, it's all about how we have evolved as human beings across continents. We have to really strive to form those networks. And don't, it's like when you build your personal brand, the same way you form your networks, looking out for people who can uplift and inspire you. Right? Look out for mentors. In today's world, it's very easy to just write to someone and say, will you mentor me? And surround yourself with people who will help you unleash your Shakti. And my last and final one, which is again, I'm going to bring you back to my half dome example. If you want to climb that half dome, and on the top, there's actually a very, very beautiful view. If you're going to go up there and really look at it and get the the benefit of that view. And that is what unleashing your Shakti is about, because you get the benefit. You have to be disciplined. And I'm part of, how many of you all know Marshall Goldsmith? I'm part of his initiative for coaching and mentoring. So one of the things he does is he gives us all an Excel sheet. And he said, every day list down how close you are to your goal. And how do you do that? He says, list down all the activities you've done today. You got up in the morning, you exercised, brushed your teeth, whatever. Then he said, you have your goal list on top. How many of those things that you did contributed to your goal? Not 100% should contribute, but some percentage should contribute. A little of it. And if you track it, you'll know that it's fairly dismal in the way that we all behave. Because we get sucked into what is called life. And we forget about the goal. And again, in January, when we come with our new resolutions, we say, oh, the year went by and I don't even recall it. So discipline and forming habits of 1, 2, 3, and 4 will, I guarantee, and all of you who are here on this Zoom call, please write to me, DM me, and tell me after 1 year. You have to follow this very strictly. And if you need help with it, of course, you can also reach out to me. But you follow 1, 2, 3, 4 with great discipline. I forget the name of the book, but there's a great book on how to build habits, right? So if you can read that, that's even the ultimate one. So if you can look at that, and I'm going to just put this on screen, you can follow me on LinkedIn. And you can always reach out to me. You can also tell me how you are on this journey of unleashing your Shakti. And I want to tell you, many people say dream. In my opinion, your future isn't a dream. It's a vision waiting for you to bring it to life. Thank you so much.
That's amazing, Geetha.
Okay, thank you. I think the book you're referring to is called Tiny Habits by Fogg, BJ Fogg. So it's a very,
Yes.
very good book. And so Harish, do you have any questions? Can we ask? Can we bring up questions?
Yes, we have a couple of questions from our audience. Ma'am, on many occasions, self-confidence is judged negatively. How do you recommend that we deal with that?
Now, this is the famous question we get from our women. I hope this person is not a lady, but yes, from women who say assertiveness is always, there's a fine line between assertiveness and aggression, right? So the same way, there's a fine line between self-confidence and overconfidence, right? So well, you'll have to work on this. You really have to look at the mirror. Actually, many, many years ago, I had gone to see a Kathakali exponent, and he said the only thing that I see when I see you is like, if you're sitting, I see you from torso up. So all your mannerisms, your eyes, the way you lift your eyebrows, or you think, or you smirk, everything is visible to me because I see your face in front of me. So he says, work on that. And of course, Kathakali is a little bit more, more emotive in its thing, but you'll be surprised the way your eyes dart from side to side when someone is talking, or where you're looking down. All those are indicators of your self-confidence and overconfidence. Overconfidence is like if I sit back in my chair and say, yeah, ask me what question you want. That's not the right way. Right? You have to be respectful and inclusive, right? Or you say like this, Yeah, ask me, Harish. So you see the difference. I'm giving it to you as different ends of a scale, but it is for you to understand that it's just those small things. And if you look at the mirror every day, you'll understand. Even the way you've combed your hair, the way we tell our women, the way you've accessorized. If I wear very heavy earrings and too much of makeup, I'm shifting your focus away from me, the authentic me, to all the other things that I'm showing you. Right? So be careful with all that, and your self-confidence and overconfidence. I mean, I'm sure it's parents and probably teachers who tell you don't be so confident. Just use it, I remember this that I remember one of my professors asked me, have you studied? And this was in the 6th grade. Okay. So I said, yeah, I've studied. She said, everybody else is revising. Why aren't you revising? So I said, I've studied. Why should I revise? And then she said, I'll see it after the marks come. Right. That's kind of, but me, I'm overconfident. Right. So when the 6th standard marks came, and in those days, there was 1 year I studied in the Nilgiri, so I had studied in an Anglo-Indian school. So in those days, if you finished a sub exam before the final exam, what happens is you get 2 weeks extra holidays. Okay, that was only 1 year they did it, and they stopped after that. And I got 100% in maths after that day, right? And I know that people would say that, oh, you're so but if you are confident, go ahead. There's no harm. But in today's, like, if you're telling me your MBBS or engineering syllabus, you can't be very confident. Anything can come, right? But don't be overconfident in the sense that you shouldn't be disrespectful. I think that's where you should draw the line.
So
Excellent.
is it fair to say that confidence with good sense of preparation is better, but confidence without any preparation, without any backing is overconfidence, right? If because I always look for people, okay, how are you able to say that you can do this? And if the other person can justify that I have done this in my life, these are the kinds of things I have done, so now I'm equipped to say that versus, oh, I can do this without any thinking, right? So it is confidence without preparation is overconfidence without thought.
Very
I
nice.
would also say confidence with your own self-belief. Sometimes if you ask me whether I can do it, I would say yes, because I have self-belief. But then I shouldn't come out as being cocky and with ego. So look, that mirror is your friend. Go look at it. I can tell you that mirror is going to help you.
Yeah, we have a follow-up question, which is very interesting. On the same lines, the person is asking, can we have self-confidence unless we are the best in the aspect of that play? I believe, I think I can rephrase that to saying that until and unless we know we are the best in that, how can we have self-confidence? If that's the way I'm interpreting that, what would be your response, ma'am?
How can we take a poll? Right? That I'm the best in this field. One never knows. But as Ravi was pointing out, if you are sure of your facts and that's just self-confidence. I know I can answer these questions, so I'm confident. So you don't have to be second best or last. I mean, in fact, I think there is enough research that shows that people who do poorly in studies actually do very well in the corporate and even in business world. I mean, all these people who started in garages and who had dropped out of school and things like that are tremendous millionaires, billionaires at this point, right? So it's not necessarily that you have to be the best for anything. As long as you are sure that what you are saying has truth to it and not fueled by ego, I think that's good enough.
In fact, I want to touch upon that because this morning Sadhguru actually talked about this desire to be the best, and everybody wants to do what is best, but he said there's nothing like best. It is all about whatever you select, whatever you choose to do, put your full heart and soul into it, and that becomes the best. So throughout the day, we have seen people, especially young people, hesitating to take action, hesitating, say, I'll only do this when, that day will never come. So you become better by doing. You know, Sachin Tendulkar or Virat Kohli, all of these people, they became better by doing, not by thinking. They were not great on the first ball they played, but they kept playing, right? Geeta?
Yeah, I think if you look at enough of those reels when you're scrolling, you'll see enough saying that, for Sachin to hit that one ball, he missed some 560 balls, whatever. So there is all those things. So I think one thing that I wish somebody had told me when I was young is don't worry about the outcome. You do your best. Are you studying well? Are you prepping for the interview? Are you doing ABC? Have you got your goal list ready? Have you got a to-do list that you wake up to every morning? Are you looking after your physical, mental health when you're studying hard? Are you doing all those things? Don't worry about the outcome because the outcome is definitely about to follow. I always say this is there are certain things within my control. So let me try to control those aspects. No, how do I know that the examiner that day did not have a fight in their family, came back, they've in a bad mood or a stomach upset because they went for a dinner the previous, and so it's gurgling all the time. I'm not able to correct properly. Anything can happen, right? That's not in my control. But what's in my control? I can write neatly. I can write the right answers. And if there is a problem, I know then I can even contest those marks. Because it's all in my control. So control your controllables is my mantra.
In fact, Bhagavad Gita has this, everybody talks about it, right? Karmani eva adhikaraste. You only have control on the karma, the action that you are taking, not at the end result. You should have a view on the end result. Sachin or Virat Kohli that we talked about just now, or any of us, we have the end goal that I want to publish a book or I want to get a PhD, but don't get attached to that. Just keep doing your work with the right, sort of preparation. That was Karmanyeva Adhikaraste, another shloka that I recommend all young people should know this. Fundamental shloka for life is that. Get into action, results will follow. Results will follow.
Excellent.
Okay.
Very interesting question, Ravi, from our audience. It says, ma'am, you said about adaptability. It's okay to adapt with the surrounding situation, but what about our inner thoughts and feelings? It should also consider.
Absolutely. I think, and this is where I keep saying the mirror is your best friend. If you have certain doubts about what you are saying or you are lying, your eyes will tell you. Where your eyes dart will tell you. I mean, am I looking up, looking down? And somehow the other person will understand that you are not authentic. So, yes, that adaptability is not only for surroundings like a chameleon, you have to change clothes, but over time, it has to be inside also. You have to adapt internally also. So, you have to believe in that adaptability. Like if you're going to adapt and be respectful or adapt to new technology, you have to use that new technology. No, you can't lie here. No, in fact, my presentation today is completely chat GPT. Because if I don't, I mean, of course, it has my thoughts in it, but in fact, my team members call it my hidden uncle. Because they said, "Oh, did you check with your uncle?" And it's a joke, but it's literally that unless we wear up with the times, we are also going to go behind. So adaptability, I can't say, "Oh, I'm a women in tech and I'm doing an IT movement here for my women in tech, and I don't know about the latest things at all."
Wonderful. Harish, I think we can wrap up. We're reaching the end of the hour. Is there any,
Uh,
Geeta, wonderful conversation. I think your message about unleashing your Shakti starting today, and you have given some very specific sort of recipes and steps that people can take. I think the true magic is in starting. A few months ago we had this idea, Amritkal Mentors. We didn't know what we will do. We didn't know who the speakers will be. We didn't even have a logo. We didn't have anything. Just about, I think, till about January 1st, it was just like, okay, we should do something. And Harish and I, we talked and said, okay, let's do it. Let's just do it. When you make that sankalpa, when you make that decision, and if the decision is good for the world will conspire. In fact, Abdul Kalam said, if you aim something, the world will conspire to make it happen. So I think the world conspired to make it happen. We have the logo, we have the collateral, we have speakers, we have the entire program, and here we are in the last 2 minutes of a day-long session that it just turned out. So to everybody in the audience, we all of us have to take the sankalpa, have that intention. The intention has to be pure, the intention has to come from your heart, and you have to be willing to work and don't worry about the outcome, which Geeta ji mentioned so beautifully. The moment you think about the outcome, your mind will want you to be the best and you never start. Some of the questions that we couldn't get to are the young people, Geeta, that said, oh, I have the potential but I never get started because of that fear that you want to be right every time. You don't have to be right every time. You can fall, you can fail. Look at the child that is trying to walk. How many times have we fallen learning to walk? Right. So, um, thank you very much. And on a short notice, that you have put together a fantastic, and thanks for sharing your LinkedIn and Instagram as well. So this will be recorded, as being recorded, and we'll share it with the audience. And any final words of wisdom, Geeta, before we wrap up?
Yeah, I just want everybody by next year, 2026, to remember what goal state they had in their mind when they closed their eyes. And all my best wishes for you all to achieve that goal state.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So I will wrap up. You're welcome to stay.
Thank
Um,
you so much, Ravi. Thank you, Harish.
Most welcome. Thank you. Have a
Thank
great day.
you.
So I'm
Bye.
going to be just doing a quick recap of the day as a way to summarize. So we started this morning with introducing of Amritkal Mentors. We started with this beautiful, again, everyone that is on this on the call today, start something, just start, and don't stop until you achieve. That's what persistence is all about. We talked about the all the power within you, and talked about importance of having a few people who can change a nation, and that's what we are talking about here. And I won't play the video right now. um, and thanks to all the partners, the pod team that really was behind all the technology, all the registration process. Sahil and team, if you want to come on video, feel free. But thank you so much. Become Harish, Vinay and Navia from Verbinden, Josh Technology Group, Algo Shack, and ISBR, whose president spoke to us. And this list is going to become at least 1,000 of companies that said, "Yeah, we are with you in this moment." And we talked about who's a mentor. You just heard, you know, Geeta ji shared her knowledge with a deep sense of care. She definitely, genuinely wants you to achieve that goal in a year from now. I closed my eyes. I set my vision for next year. So mentors are those people. So look around in your family, in your neighborhood, in your university, faculty members, alumni, or total stranger who you see. But you have to be worthy of that mentorship, right? Nobody's going to randomly mentor you. You have to be worthy of it. In fact, Indra Nui, that we heard about earlier today, she has a beautiful video on how to be worthy of other people's, to be your mentors, to be your mentors. And the mentee we talked about today, I'm sure everybody loved it, but nothing happens if you don't take action. Nothing happens if you don't, take that internship or read a book or start writing. If you have specific goals, what are you doing every day against those goals? I think Marshall Goldsmith is a phenomenal leader. And Geetha shared a simple trick. At the end of every day, if your goal is to be a basketball player, and entire day you watched cricket and just watched reels on YouTube, then your goal is wrong. You will not achieve the goal. If your goal is to get into an Infosys or an IBM, then what are you doing every day to become eligible for that goal? So that's a good, I think, tip that she gave. And we talked about the benefits is really you heard throughout the day. Every piece, every talk was experiential. It was not everybody was a successful leader, and it was personalized because they are talking to students like you. And I hope you will reach out and you build relationships. And I hope some of you, it will open up whole new doors for you. This Sunday will be a turning point if you make it so. Otherwise, it will be one more intellectual excitement. But if you don't take action, it won't open possibilities. And I hope some of the advice that you got today, that you will take action. Take action. That's when magic happens, right? Um, and we kind of reiterated this morning. We are doing this for you, all the young people of India, and we're doing this for our country that we are from. That we want to see that India becomes a Viksit Bharat. That means all of us become developed individuals with our skills, with our leadership, with our values, and so on. So the day was just amazing. um, and we had Sadhguru, Dr. Velimani talking about entrepreneurship and his story, Sanjeev talking about what should you look for to be employable. Navi talked about frugal innovation. We had Ramesh giving you so many wonderful tips on interviewing and how to prepare for interview, what questions to ask, what not to ask. Manish giving so many case studies of students who did the extra to become extraordinary. Right? Every one of them could have just gotten the degree, but the case studies shows that the world of projects is around you, in your neighborhood, in the village next to you. So take that initiative today, right? And that is what we want to hear when we hire people. What is the little extra you have done? And finally, all the tips of adaptability, of having that making sure your activity online, your activity offline is aligning with the goal state. That is a beautiful statement. Your personal brand should reflect your goal state. If you want to be a basketball player or a cricket player, everything you do online should be around cricket. That's when the world recognizes you, that that's what you want to do. So um, thanks everybody. Thanks to all the partners who made it possible. Thanks Harish. Thanks Vinay, Rishu, and team. So what happens next? Okay, what happens next? That there will be sort of sessions from now on by cluster. We'll have sessions. We'll bring speakers on IT for a whole week or a month. We'll bring speakers on manufacturing, entrepreneurship, aerospace, etc. And we'll focus on specific skills. Today was mostly around foundational, inspirational, directional, but now it's about very specific. Where is the industry going? What should you be aware of, so that it can complement whatever you're learning on campus. You will be invited to join a platform where some of the mentors that just spoke today and other mentors who we are going to add, you can interact with them. You can support each other, build a community. Let's create the largest Amritkal community where youth are helping other youth from across the country. And we'll continue to provide content. We will do some events. Again, this is the end state we are envisioning. There'll be some events in various parts of India, and we're also looking for ambassadors on campuses to be Amritkal Mentors ambassadors. So you can tell 10 other 20 other students. So that is how we reach all the 500 million young people in India. So with that, thank you very much, and wish you all the very best. And remember, all the power is within you, but you have to take action to to take full advantage of the power. So thank you very much. Namaste.